Okay, so for our next cards or section that you're going to do is going to be those 4-term problems. And we're going to start by looking at grouping. Now, with these, you get to choose which way you want to do these. You could do the grouping or we can do the area. We're going to do the same problem 2 different ways, 2 separate cards, and you can take your preference. It's these ones, we do want to still make sure that our polynomials are in standard form. However, those middle terms, it really doesn't matter too much as to which one's first. You just want to make sure that your highest exponent, your lead coefficient, that is first term, and your last one would be the constant or the term with the lowest variable exponent. And then our steps always start same way with the check for GCF. And in this case, not every term has x's, so I can't use the letter. And there is no number other than 1 that goes into 12, negative 15, negative 28, and 35. And then our next step is to group the terms. We're going to group term 1 and 2, and then group terms 3 and 4. Now, when I do my grouping on my work, I always make sure I give myself some room to write in them for our next step, which is the next step is to find the GCF of each group. And keep in mind, if the first term in a group is negative, the GCF is going to be negative. And we're going to write that GCF under each term. So for the first group, my GCF is 3, which goes into both 12 and 15. And then it's x squared because it's the variable that they both have and the smallest exponent. And then for my second group, my first term is a negative 28x. So my GCF is going to be a negative 7 because negative 7 goes into both 28 and 35. And they both don't have an x. So our final step is we're going to write out the, divide out those fractions, and then we're going to see that we have another GCF. So when we simplify each fraction, we're going to have our GCF outside of the parentheses, which is the 3x squared, and then 12x cubed divided by 3x squared is going to be 4x. And then a negative divided by a positive, so negative 15x squared divided by 3x squared is going to be a negative, and 3 goes into 15 5 times, and those x's are going to cancel out. For the second one, our GCF was negative 7, and a negative 28x divided by a negative 7 is just going to be 4x. And then a positive 35 divided by a negative 7 is going to become a negative 5. So now, our next step is going to say that the parentheses have to match. That's our new GCF, and we're going to factor that out as well. So when I factor out those the parentheses, which is that 4x minus 5 from both of them, I will have the GCF of 4x minus 5, and then I have what is left with each, so I could cross it out. And the other parentheses is going to have 3x squared minus 7. And then our final answer can have those parentheses in either order. So I could have the 3x squared minus 7 and then the 4x minus 5, or I could have it as I did it with that GCF.